E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories, broadcasting and live streaming to millions of devices around the world, including Roku, and live streaming to Facebook Live. Also on Amazon Fire TV and to Twitch. Also Android TV and Periscope. Broadcasting to Apple TV and YouTube Live. Proudly brought to you by our host, Donna Guinois, producer and host, Michaela Vidal, host and administrator, and Jim Grant, producer and host. Proudly brought to you by the 6minutewebinar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Messages of Inspirational Stories. Jim, here we are on Thursday already, and we have done this whole week about our life lessons.
And I'm still learning them too.
Right? You know, that's just it. The day we stop trying to learn is the day we're done.
There you go. There you go. So I'm still in the third grade on that learning thing, so I got a long ways to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so glad that you're here. We have to give a shout out to you folks out there in TV land. Once again, we got our ratings in and everything like that. And Donna, I was just floored like I normally am because
gobsmacked.
Yeah, what Donna said. And we just want to thank you so much because our attendances went up, the amount of minutes watched has went up. I mean, and it's all Donna's fault. I didn't have anything to do with it, but what can I say? What can I say?
We are grateful. We are truly grateful. And it is our privilege and our honor to bring you information, entertainment, and that we hope blesses your life every single day.
Yeah, Donna and I were all about infotainment. And Donna, we're going to be on primetime TV on Saturday night on April the 23rd. Yeah.
So excited about that with
yeah.
Special guest, Mr. Marty Haggard, Merle Haggard's oldest son. And we've worked with Marty before, and he's a friend of ours. And folks, he is a gem.
He's salt of the earth, as the old saying goes. Down to earth, real people, generous. Because Marty's going to be joining us as we do a special presentation, 90-minute special presentation. It's going to air on Live Central here on E360 TV. It's going to be broadcast to all of the major channels, including the ones that we're already on. And what's really amazing is that we're benefiting the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and we're going to have some VFW guests on there to be able to share some information, why they joined, what the benefits are. Some of the benefits they've mentioned, I didn't even know.
Right.
And I'm a lifetime member.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be going over that.
Yes, we're going to be covering a lot of that. A little bit of the history, a little bit of the nuts and bolts. And Marty was so kind to take 90 minutes of his busy week, because on that he's going to be heading to Wichita, Kansas. So we got to pre-record this show, to be honest with you, because it's going to air the same time he's performing at the is it the state fairgrounds or whatever? Something like that. Yeah. In other words, it's on the big tent. But Marty has donated all of his time, and 100% of the funds that will be raised during that broadcast, that 90-minute broadcast, which is either join if they're qualified to join the VFW, or people just want to donate, 100% of the funds go directly to the VFW.
Yep.
And the way you can know that, when you click on the link, it's a VFW link.
Absolutely.
And we wouldn't, Donna and I wouldn't have it any other way, would we, Donna?
No, sir. No, we are really excited and honored to be able to do this for the VFW.
Yeah, we got the cat's approval. Which one is that?
It's Glock.
Glock. Glock says, right on. You got my approval on that one there. Yeah, let's see Glock. Hey, Glock, how you doing? Where's he at? Oh, there he is.
Her.
Her. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness, great. Is she
3 girls, 1 boy for
Yeah,
cats.
is she a Bombay?
She is. So's Bullet. So I've got 2
Oh, wow.
Bombays. I've got a Russian blue and I've got a Siamese.
Mercy. I tell you
Right.
right now, those Bombay cats, they're known as the miniature panther because I had one and she was a little girl. We called her Tigger. You talk about a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we'd look out the window in the backyard. She'd be out there. Look out the window in the front yard. She'd be out there. She was always on patrol like a ninja.
Right.
And they are so neat. They're just got that satin black coat with no white hair or anything like it. They're just gorgeous. I'd love to have another. Of course, I'm a bear for punishment too. You know, I'd love to have another Bombay kitty because like every cat I've had, especially the girls, the females, they look at me like, this guy's no challenge. Maybe take a day and a half, and I'll have him trained.
Right. Right. Yeah. This is my 3rd Bombay, and I had one J-Man, and he, at his prime, was about 25 pounds. He was a big boy.
Oh, yeah. He walked to the beat of his own drum, too, didn't he?
Oh, he most certainly did. He most certainly did.
Well, we're going to be sharing some great life lessons with you. Got some great information for you because, as Donna said, we're all about infotainment. But before we begin, we got to talk about April the 14th and the national holiday. The first one fits us just like a glove.
Oh, it does.
And what is that first one I'm talking about, Donna?
It is absolutely, without a doubt, International Moment of Laughter Day. And we tend to do a lot of that here on the show.
Yeah, we do. We do. Sometimes Donna she'll start slapping her knee and snorting and carrying on, and I can't get a word in edgewise.
Well, that's because you're down for the count.
That's right. That's right. When she starts snorting, I lose it too. I mean, but laughter is good for you. In fact, it rates up there second under oxygen as being very healthy for you. This actually began back in 1997 when a humor consultant and psychologist by the name of Izzy, I-Z-Z-Y, Gazelle, I guess it's Gazelle, G-E-S-E-L-L, invited the whole world to join in this day and do some fun activities to encourage everyone to laugh. He's the one that said laughter comes right after breathing. It's just about the healthiest thing you can do. And he is correct on that. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness, Donna, because you've talked a lot about, laughter and what good medicine is for the soul and all that. And that's simply amazing, isn't it?
It does. It vibrates throughout the entire, your entire cells in your body. And it brings out the endorphins, which are the happy ones.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And that helps build, puts you, of course, in a better mood, but it also helps your immunity system.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I tell you, anything you do for your immune system, I mean, that's a super plus. It's the best thing you do for your body and for your family and friends because they want to be around you when you're laughing and got some of them, what'd you call them, endorphins? And what was that again? Endorphins. Oh, I don't know what they look like, but I don't.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Are they visible or invisible, huh?
Well, that's a different show, Jim.
Okay. All right. That's above my pay grade is what she's saying.
So what else do we have for National Day?
Oh, my goodness gracious. I did not know that today was the National Dolphin Day.
Oh, I love dolphins. Oh. They are so amazing.
They're neat creatures. They really are.
They are. I mean, we've all heard about how they've helped different animals, people in trouble in the water, fighting off sharks.
Oh, yeah. And, these are just, normal dolphins out there in the middle of the sea. They're not from, they haven't been trained or anything like that, but they just do that automatically. And what really spurred this National Day was a film that came out in 2009. It was a documentary that created awareness about the dolphins, their plight. It was put on the National Geographic photographer, Louis, says that. I'm going to spell this name because I slaughter names. Psihyoyos. And he directed this award-winning film called Cove, C-O-V-E, to alert
I
people
watched that.
to the rapid dolphin hunting in Japan.
It I watched the entire thing and was in
Mm,
tears the whole time. It was
really?
it was
That good, huh?
yeah, but it was brutal what the hunting in Japan is with the dolphins.
Mm.
It was absolutely brutal. I'm just going to be honest about it. It
Yeah.
was
I mean,
wow.
that's like me. I mean, I can't go hunting or anything like that. I just can't. I mean, I just, that's just the way I'm wired because I feed deer in my backyard because I love seeing them. They're beautiful creatures.
Right.
They're so, the way that gracefully, how easily they move. I wish I could jump a fence like that. My legs are 10 times bigger than theirs.
Well, here in Arizona, when it gets so hot, I always
Mhm.
put water out and change it daily for the birds
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because they are desperate for water here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I put out fresh water, and I always post when the temperature gets up. I always post on Facebook, "Hey guys, the creatures are needing our help. Let's give them a little water."
Mm-hmm. And also today, Donna, this is National Gardening Day.
Okay, that's up my alley too.
Mm-hmm.
I love gardening. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love it. I love getting in the soil and getting my hands dirty and watching my flowers bloom and my vegetables, come to fruit. It is therapy for me.
Mm. I'll be right back. I forgot to water my plants. But it really is a great day to, just get your hands in the dirt. There's something about that just really has a soothing effect to you.
Very therapeutic.
Yeah. And if you look at any type of chore like that is, being a JAWB, like I tell people when it comes to like, you make up your mind, you're going to clean out the garage or straighten the garage and all that.
Right.
Don't look at it as a JAWB, a job. Look at it with what's the end result going to be like when you get it organized and the benefit of doing that. So that's the right attitude about a lot of things in life, isn't it, Donna?
It really is. It really is. For me, it is just pure. I have to be grounded. So for me, being barefoot out in the backyard in the grass, digging in the dirt, that grounds me. So
yeah. And when you and Edgy got married, she was barefooting in the grass. I'm not making that up. She was barefooting. And she was doing something like a boogaloo and all that.
I was not doing a boogaloo. But I said, if we're getting married in the backyard, which was perfect, that's where we wanted to be married. I said, I am not wearing shoes.
There you go. There you go.
I don't like wearing shoes unless I absolutely have to.
There you go. Yeah. So if you see a lady walking downtown in Phoenix, if it's not too hot and she's barefooted, it's Donna.
Oh, goodness.
But ladies and gentlemen, we want to start out this great show on life's lessons by sharing with you, and we're getting our information from The 7 Levels of Truth by Mr. Bill Heinrich. There are 2 reasons why we're sharing this book with you. Number one, let me put Bill's email ticker up there, his marquee. You'll find it? Okay. Number one, if you contact Bill Heinrich, he will be more than happy to schedule with you a complimentary 30-minute consultation on what's holding you back.
Absolutely.
And same way with Donna. We'll put her email address up there. It's just high energy right now. Bill's website is truelifepurposenow.com. And then Donna also will share with you what's blocking your energy. She narrows it down to a person, a place, or a thing. And you can get in touch with her at highenergyrightnow@gmail.com. She will give you a complimentary 30-minute consultation. And I can guarantee you neither Donna or Bill will put you on an email list because they don't have any lotions, potions, or pills to sell. Okay?
No.
They're just not into that. And then to put the icing on the cake, one of the things I love to mention is as A Stranger's Secret by Earl Nightingale on YouTube. If you cannot get YouTube in your country, just go online, look for The Stranger's Secret by Earl Nightingale. You can download it in a PDF form. It is word by word, verbatim of what's on the YouTube. And I just recommend you to put in earbuds, lay back, in a very comfortable chair or couch, close your eyes and just listen to it. So right there, you got an hour and a half of solid proof why you were created and why the life you were born to live was specifically created just for you.
Absolutely.
And one of the first things that you were created for and you were born to live, and that was to develop your creativity and your confidence. Oh my goodness, how many people lack confidence in this world?
Oh, more than we care to talk about, to be honest with you.
And sometimes, in my life, I started saying my past life, that too, but I don't believe in reincarnation or anything. It's just the way my tongue rolls sometimes. I have this communication, you heard generation gap. I got a communication gap between my brain and my tongue. So sometimes it comes out sideways. And Donna's used to that, so she just rolls with the punches. But there's been times in my life when I've lacked confidence in something and I've struggled with it. And that just pulls your energy down, robs you of who? Yeah, robs us.
But the plus side of that is how we learn to overcome it.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a life lesson. So that we can build our confidence and that we can grow and that we can do more.
That opens up the doors to your creativity because you are special.
Yeah.
Just like your thumbprint's unique, you are that unique. You're that specially created.
Absolutely. And the second one is cooperation and balance. So clarifying the limits of your responsibility and learn to work with others in the spirit of harmony, balance, and mutual respect.
I like that when it says working with others in the spirit of harmony. Everybody wants harmony in their life. And that is a prerequisite for you to be able to live the life you were destined to live. And it's so important because if you're out of balance emotionally, you are living in a dark world.
When you're out of balance emotionally and you don't have that harmony in your life, it's really that your energy is out of balance. So something is blocking you, right? So it's a tug. It's like this. Can't go anywhere, right? So once your energy and you figure out what's blocking you, it pulls away and the good energy goes up.
There you go. Donna said it better than I did, but anyway. But it's really amazing how we're in control of that, aren't we, Donna?
We are, but we have to make a conscientious effort. And that sometimes is difficult, but we do and we can make that effort to succeed.
I got little Dixie here. If you see me fiddling around over here, it's Dixie's fault. She's my little kitty.
Yeah, it's kitty day today.
Yeah, she snuck. She was asleep in the studio here. So when I closed the door, she did not get the memo that I was going to go live.
Well, I got 3 laying over here behind me.
Yeah, she's got a what's that? It's not a crowd of cats or a bunch of cats. What they call
Clouder.
that?
Clouder.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 3. Yeah. Number 3 on this list is expression and sensitivity. Utilize your emotional sensitivity to bring heartfelt expression into the world. Notice how that's all outward.
Right.
Because energy must flow outward for it to be good energy.
Correct.
Anything held within is not good energy because it's all about self. As Bill likes to say, we're broadcasting live from our own personal radio station, WIIFM. What's in it from me? And that's when people become miserable. And that's when people actually literally rob themselves of the true riches of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fourth one is stability and process.
Okay.
Achieve stability and security by patiently following a gradual process toward selected goals.
What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? You got to be patient and just go with that energy. Let it pull you. Because we've seen that happen in our life, in our involvement here on this TV show. And it's amazing how things come to us and the energy is pulling you. Say, this is your mission. Right. This is why you were created. And I can guarantee you that I wouldn't be this smart if I had 2 heads and 29 years of school to figure out some of the things that come our way. It's kind of like that old saying, Donna, if you don't hear God laugh, tell him your plans.
Right? Right. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. It's classic. It's true. What's number 4 on the list there, young lady?
No, 5.
Oh, 5?
Yeah. Freedom and discipline.
Hmm.
Find more inner freedom through discipline, focus, and depth of expression.
Hmm. Notice how freedom and discipline go hand in hand there.
Right.
You cannot be free if you're emotionally out of control. It's impossible. And that discipline means that you deny yourself a lot of times, you put others first sometimes, and your focus is on how you can use your talents that you were created with to bless others. Don't worry about what's in it for you. That will come. May not come from them that you're actually helping, but it'll come. So don't worry about it. That's that gradual process. So don't make waves. Just ride with the flow, baby. Ride with the flow.
And number 6.
Yeah. I'm up to speed now. I lost my notes there. That's why I said 3 was 4 or 4 was 3 or whatever. Vision and acceptance. You are here to reconcile your high ideals with practical reality and to accept yourself. Ooh, that's huge. Your world and the present moment through an expanded vision of life's inherent perfection. Accept yourself. Oh my goodness. How many people feel bad about themselves or don't feel like they're worthy on the inside?
Right.
Oh, that's a secret. That's kind of like a hidden secret, that people won't share it, but they feel like they're not worthy on the inside. That's not true. You are worthy.
You are worthy, but I would like to take it a step further. And in that goes forgiving yourself. I absolutely know and believe it's true that we are so much, as people, we are so readily available to forgive somebody else who's maybe done wrong to us in one way or the other than we are our own self. Right? So when you've done something that may be not the best thing in your life, we have to learn to forgive ourselves so that we can go forward. But when you forgive yourself, you can truly forgive others a lot easier and give yourself that grace.
Yes, because when you love yourself and you give others grace, it's going to come back.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's just amazing how that just reflects back on you. Because what you project is going to reflect back on you. That could be good or bad.
Absolutely.
And I like to think about if you scold a dog, for doing something, then later on you feel like, well, maybe I got a little too hard on him, and you go to the pup, say, I'm sorry, all that. Look how fast that dog is to forgive you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what if we did the same thing? And Donna, you know what I'm going to say. If we had the heart of the family dog, can you imagine what a wonderful world this world would be?
It would be oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would just be nothing but love.
Yeah. I mean, we'd have Satan reaching for the Rolaids, for goodness sakes.
Well, number 7 is trust and openness. You are here to trust the light or spirit within yourself, in others, and in the process of your life so that you can feel safe enough to open up and share your inner beauty with the world.
Wow. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It is. And, trust and openness, that's a hard thing to do. I get it. Been there.
Yeah. Oh,
and, I've learned in my life, just because you meet somebody new and you're getting along really good and you've been hanging out for a couple months or whatever, don't trust them maybe with everything in your life.
Oh, yeah.
That's
wise.
That trust is gradual. That trust is gradual.
And if they ask or say something, or especially if they ask something that's personal, a red flag should go off in your mind and say, wonder why they want to know that. Because it's, I know a lot of guys will do that trying to evaluate when they're meeting a person they're interested in. And usually it's because they're interested in what's in it for me,
Right.
So beware of that. Don't feel like you have to be vulnerable to how people like you. You don't have to be that vulnerable. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about strength here.
Right.
And coming from strength and not weakness. Oh boy, number 8. Can I share that one there?
Go for it.
We're talking about power and abundance. I could use a truckload of power and a truckload of abundance, couldn't you, Donna?
Yeah, always.
But I don't think that's what they're actually talking about here. But what Dan Millen is the one who came up with this list. He's saying you are here to work with abundance, power, and recognition to apply your success to the common good. So you're there, you can have that power and abundance, but you're there to use it, to work with it, to be a blessing to others. That's what he's saying. That's how you get rich in life.
Right.
Look how you can enrich others. And that's why Donna and Bill and, of course, Mr. Nightingale, he's no longer with us, but that's why, they're so willing to give and share their information, because they know the value of investing in you because you're worthy. Don't ever forget that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And number 9 is integrity and wisdom. So you are here to live in accord with your highest integrity, to align your life with your heart's intuitive wisdom, and to inspire others by example.
Yeah, we talk about inspiring others by example. It reminds me of the story of Joe Theismann back in 1982 when the NFL had a strike, and the Players Association and all, and the players could not get anything from the coaches. So Joe Theismann, he decided, hey, when this strike's over, we need to be ready to play. So he would organize these practices and things like that. He called up everybody, got everybody there, and laid out the game plan. And they had a leader in Joe Theismann. But Joe Theismann says the one thing that taught me about leadership was not getting people to do what you told them to do, but to be able to get them to buy in on the same thing that you believe in.
And to lead by example.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's huge in life. It really is, because people respect the leader. That's, a good leader, I should say. They really do. They want a good leader in life. Right. You might be that leader for that individual. Think about that.
I love that. Okay. And number 10, Jim, did you lose your place, or are you ready?
I was waiting on you. I had a 0 here, but anyway. Inner gifts. Oh my goodness gracious. It's got a 0 in front of it. I'm not making it up. It says the 0 does not have a life purpose as such, but rather points to the inner gifts or potential resources. And it's just amazing how your inner gifts, that is your reservoir of energy where you can build from. Those are the tools in your toolbox, if I could put it in layman terms. That's very accurate, isn't it, Donna?
It really is. It really is. Because we all have inner gifts. And that's what, finding out about ourselves. What is our inner gift? And it's not just one gift. We all have multiple gifts, right? So, think about that for a minute out there. What is your gift in your life? I know I've said it before. One of my gifts is I am a very good cook and a very good baker. And that is one of my love languages, to be able to do that. That's a gift.
What time? Supper time?
Well, tomorrow, no, I'm sorry, Saturday. I'll get my day straight here. Saturday, I'm making 30 pounds of sauce. So that means there's lasagna coming and all kinds of good things.
If you see me drooling like a hound dog, Donna's such a good cook, you'll understand why. But Donna, when we think about this book, The 7 Levels of Truth, the reason we want to share Bill's exact verbiage with you is because he wrote it so powerful, so plainly,
he did.
that I, for one, speaking from me, I cannot add to it. If I add my gibberish to it, it ought to water it down.
Right.
And I'm being upfront with you.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I feel the same way. This next part we're covering.
Yeah, that falls in your category too.
Yeah, it does. This is right up my alley. So I'm just going to jump into it because I'm really excited about sharing this with y'all. So let's look at some of the areas that are blocking us so that we can gain more awareness about our obstacles. It is in the awareness of these obstacles that will allow us to make a choice that supports our self-actualization. As we encounter our life lessons, they are a disruption that generates fear and upset in our life at the moment. Now that's powerful.
Yes, it is. I love it when he says it's just simply a disruption.
Right.
And Bill was saying that generates fear and all that, and it upsets our life, but it's just for the moment. It's not forever.
But if we don't learn how to recognize it, that moment, that teeny little thing can become a mountain.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so then it keeps us hostage. It takes us hostage in our life, in our energy, and it is not a good life lesson, right? We want to learn how to cope with them. So for many, many years, everything that came, I'd worry about, I'd be frustrated about it, etc. And one day, well, it was actually pretty much after my first brain surgery. But that was kind of the starting point for me. I was on that path earlier, but it really hit home then because here I am. I've just undergone brain surgery. And what the hell am I worrying about all the little things in life for? The things that don't matter, the things that aren't going to matter an hour from now, and they're not going to matter tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Because that moment that we let little things that are insignificant, they rob us of everything we are. They rob us of our energy. They rob us of our happiness. They rob us of our joy. They rob us of our time that we should be giving to our loved ones.
Yes, yes. That's a very powerful statement. I'm so glad you shared that, Donna, because my goodness gracious, you hit the nail on the head because we've all been there in our hour of need. When the chips are down, or however you want to say it,
Right.
When the slack comes out of the chain, all the little things that had you so buzzing around up here in your mind is nonsense.
Right. It doesn't mount to a hill of beans.
Yeah. That's like, I haven't shared this particular story about my heart attack and open heart surgery. But anyway, Evelyn came over there to pick me up on that Monday because I was supposed to be an outpatient deal and get the stents. And I said, what? Yeah, I'll be over when I go in. I'm going in early. Just come on over and I'm going to be out probably in 2:00 or something, whatever. And she goes there and she can't find me. So she goes to the nurse's station, the last place I was, in the room up there. She says, do you know where Jim is? And they said, yeah, he's in ICU. They're preparing him for open heart surgery and 4 bypasses. And so obviously that shocked her, and they brought her over, and she saw me there, and I said, that's no big deal. I'll be okay, And she texted our 2 children, let them know that your dad had to be transferred to ICU. He's going to have open heart surgery. And that rattled them, and that's understandable. But all the other little things that they might have been going on in their minds and in their lives, all of that just falls by the wayside, because the important things like that, such as love and life, and that's what counts in life. That's what we live for. We live for love. We live for life because we're social creatures. We need love. Oh my goodness. I mean, I love it when someone loves me enough, they like my wife, to fix me food and cook my clothes. I'll cook my meals, wash my clothes. Yeah, she'll cook them too. But but anyway, I mean, the little things people do for you. Like sometimes I'll take her car to the station and gas it up, with fuel, so she don't have to. That's called RESPECT, respect. Like Aretha Franklin spelled it out for me, because she probably figured I didn't know what that meant.
In my house, if I'm still in bed, which is unusual, but once in a while I'll sleep in. And my husband will bring me coffee, and I wake up,
Ooh.
and it's right there at my bedside.
Yeah. Back when I was running my manufacturing business, I'd get up early and all that. And by the time I came out of the shower, Evelyn would have a cup of coffee there for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's just a little nothing that someone does, but it shows the respect, the act of love. And it says, I care for you without a spoken word. Without a spoken word. Imagine doing things for the ones you love, and you don't have to say anything. They get it. They get it.
That's what's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Now, with your pets, they demand that. So that's a different story.
But Jim, if I could, I'd like to read a little bit more about this, because this whole paragraph, well, the whole book, to be honest with you. But so the next part of this says, our life lessons can intimidate and scare us, or leave us baffled, angry, frustrated, lonely, and exhausted when we have no awareness of them. One thing with life lessons everyone has in common is this: we all have lessons to learn, and the lesson is not going to go away even when we've learned it. Mm-hmm. Our life lessons continue to appear again and again until we face it, learn it, heal it, and then love it, because our life lessons will always be with us while we are on this earth.
Wow.
They diminish in strength as we become aware of our lessons and continue to love them and thank them for our learning. You know, so my father was a brilliant man. He was had his PhD in psychology. But when it came to his daughter, right, I'm his namesake and I'm my mother's namesake. So, you know, yeah, you could say it's the apple of his eye. And I have had arthritis since I was 9 years old, and it didn't go away. It got worse. And it used to bother him something fierce. And then when I came down, had the aneurysm and found out I had an MS, I had told him, he was so upset by it. And him and mom were very ill and going through their own issues, but he was very upset by it. And I told him, I said, Dad, do you remember many years ago when I told you that don't worry, don't feel sorry for me about my arthritis. I have it because maybe somebody else isn't strong enough to get through it. And I feel the same way about my MS and about having had an aneurysm and going through 3 brain surgeries. I've had that so that maybe somebody else who couldn't quite deal with it in the proper way you have to deal with it, with a positive mindset, maybe they couldn't. So I don't look at it as a tragedy or please feel sorry for me.
Right.
I look at it as a gift in its own way, because I've learned so much about myself.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've learned how to handle things that are out of my control.
That's huge. That is huge. You know, I've said before, and I hate to keep using this same old, expression, but it's true. I've had people tell me, says, that was a horrible thing you went through, having a heart attack, open heart surgery, and all that. And I tell them, no, it's a blessing in disguise. Number one, my heart attack was mild. Number two, I had a widowmaker, the condition known as the widowmaker in my heart. And I just tell people the good Lord allowed me to fall down and skin one knee as opposed to breaking my neck.
Right.
Because if the widowmaker would have created a normal heart attack the way it can.
Good night, Sally.
Yeah, that's why they call it the widowmaker. You hear people walking down the street, they're healthy and all that, no problem. And one day, bam, they drop dead of a heart attack. That's usually compliments of the widowmaker. Go ahead.
Right. Well, and the same was with me on my aneurysm. So I obviously didn't know I had an aneurysm, and that was found by fluke. And it was huge. So, I mean, my aneurysm was so bad that literally, just say a normal size house, nothing big, nothing fancy, 1,800 square feet. If I was to get up from one end of the house and walk to the other end and that aneurysm hit, I would have never made it.
Mm. How blessed are we, Donna? How
Right?
blessed are we? And Donna's so blessed now, she's got to put up with me. I mean, it's just,
Oh, that's not, that's not hard to do, Jim.
she'll just put me in my corner, behave, sit, stay, good boy. But, we look back on these things, the journey that we went, and we give thanks. And I'd like to say this. I've heard this before, read it too, but let's say you're faced with a difficult thing or something that's aggravating you. Let's say you got a task you got to do and it's aggravating you. You just don't want to do it. Give thanks. Have a thankful heart because maybe you are the only one that can handle that task, complete that task, and give thanks of how great it's going to be for you to have that task in the rear mirror of life, because that rear mirror is the only thing your mind can bring up, the past.
Right.
And look through the windshield of life to the abundance that you're entitled to. Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
That is huge, Jim, because, everything we do, everything that we learn, those are the life lessons. Those are what shapes us and molds us and gives us, character and gives us strength that we can draw upon, because we can go back in our mind and say, wow, I went through this, so now I can go through this.
Yeah. Just think as a toddler, I mean, kids don't even think about things, little kids. I mean, a toddler's sitting there, he gets up and tries to walk, bam, falls down. Guess what? He don't say, well, I ain't going to try that again. That was a train wreck,
They usually laugh about it.
Yeah. And they get up and they go again. So if you struggle or you stumble and fall, so what? That's not the end of your journey. That's not the end of your calling. Get back up.
No, it's the beginning.
That's right.
It is the beginning of your journey.
There you go. I love that, because also too, notice we talk about goals, and goals are good, but choices is more important. That's where you want to frame your mind around choices, because decisions, when I make a decision, it's in a mental box inside my head, because I've already pictured from the alpha to the omega, from the beginning to the end, exactly how this thing's going to go together.
Right.
And the problem with that is that I've blocked out all the other energy. I'm dependent only on the big three, me, myself, and I, that's locked inside. But when you make options and things do not work out, that means your calling in life is not to go in through this door, but over here through another door.
Right.
And usually that's a bigger door most of the time. It really, truly is. Look at just think of your own life in the past.
Right.
The doors that got shut, but the doors that got opened up and you went through. Wow, that's huge.
Well, look at most of us don't marry the first person we date.
Oh, thank God for that.
Right?
She's saying the same. I mean, the gal that I dated, she's saying the same thing about me. So I got to be fair about that.
But, think about that. I look back and I think, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. But it was a lesson. And it was there was great memories and there was some not great memories. But it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing.
It is. And, being able to give thanks in all situations, we're told that. And that's easy to do when everything's going good.
Right.
But when things start going bad, how do you give thanks for that? What's the lesson to be learned there? How can that make you a better person, to raise you to a higher standard of living? That's the lesson.
Right.
That's what it's about. And, many times in my life, when I've goofed up, I let it gnaw on me. Maybe it embarrassed me to some degree. So what? Did anybody on planet Earth think I was going to be perfect, including me?
Right.
No. And whenever you goof up or make a mistake, just let it go. If you need to apologize or if you say something or whatever, do that. But let it go, because, everybody knows, just like we have a guest on TV here, and they get upset if we have a technical issue. And in fact, one of the gentlemen that's going to be on the show from the VFW, he says, "What if I have an issue and we're live on the show?" And I said, "People understand technical issues." I said, "I'll just drop backstage. We'll go to commercial. I'll drop backstage, and Donna and Marty will carry on the show, lickety split, and I'll work with you behind the scenes. We'll get on the cell phone and we'll get the wrinkles ironed out. It's no big deal. Look at it like you have a flat tire in life. We got a spare. So what?" And everybody understands technical issues, but don't let little things like that, make you nervous or upset you, because
don't let it stop you. And when something difficult happens, don't let it consume you.
Yeah, and when I make a mistake and say my wife's going to cook my clothes, well, laugh about it. It's funny. That's that gap between my brain and my tongue I spoke about earlier. It's alive and well.
Right, and we all do it. But I think in not letting something that's happened or a problem that you're dealing with right now, whatever it is, not letting it consume you and own you. Because when you let it consume and own you, that's when you're already lost. Because now it's so far out there, it's so big that it's hard to grasp a hold of it and make the decisions you need to make from a logical standpoint versus an emotional standpoint.
Amen. In other words, you let a little molehill turn into Mount Everest in front of
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
And, goodness. Never look at the problem. Always look for a solution. How can I learn from this? How can I be a better person from this? We say that again and again, but it's so worthy. And make sure you get that branded into your brain, because it's so worthy for you to understand that. Right. So much important.
Absolutely. 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 Okay.
Since these aren't numbered, I'm going to let Donna carry on.
Okay. Your life is always part of the energetic flow of the universe, and you will be given opportunities by the universe that will allow you to learn and heal your life lessons. The universe creates events in your life that are designed to get your attention. Maybe it's a fender bender with your car, not getting a job you applied for, an illness, a pain in your neck, or a sore back. It could be anything, but it definitely will be a disruption to the flow of your life. This is how the universe speaks to get your attention, and when you are unconscious. Each time the universe provides the opportunity for you to learn more about your life lessons, it does so with a little more volume and strength. Ignore the message from the universe, and the size or impact will increase the next time the universe speaks. When I was living unconsciously, I was associating these events with bad luck. When is the other shoe going to fall? Why does this always happen to me? It was the universe trying to get my attention, and they didn't realize it.
Wow. Bill is showing how vulnerable his life was and how he felt, and he's sharing that with you. Because Bill knows there's people out there. Donna and I can relate to that. You can too.
Sure.
Sharing it with him sharing out, I should say, with you through us. I mean, my goodness gracious, he's blessed. The universe will find a way to bless him.
Right.
That's a principle. It really is. Oh my goodness gracious. That was some powerful.
It was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
It was very powerful. The illness is hitting. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that was so powerful. Donna, would you be kind enough, please, to read that portion of his word there again, if you don't mind?
Absolutely. Your life is always part of the energetic flow of the universe, and you will be given opportunities by the universe that will allow you to learn and heal your life lessons. The universe creates events in your life that are designed to get your attention. Maybe it's a fender bender with your car, not getting a job you applied for, an illness, a pain in your neck, or a sore back. It could be anything, but it definitely will be a disruption of the flow in your life. This is how the universe speaks to get your attention when you are unconscious. Each time the universe provides the opportunity for you to learn more about your life lessons, it does so with a little more volume and strength. Ignore the message from the universe, and the size or impact will increase the next time the universe speaks. When I was living unconsciously, I was associating these events with bad luck. When is the other shoe going to fall? Why does this always have to happen to me? It was the universe trying to get my attention, and I didn't realize it.
Folks, can you just imagine, recording Donna, reading that or sharing that with you, and you close your eyes, you put on your earbud, just lay there in your hour of need when you feel like you're emotionally out of control. And I know that message will just, really touch you and it will strum the chords of your soul. I know it will because I could listen to her read that thing 29 more times. And of course, she's not going to. We don't. Number one, we have time. Number two, she'll say, "Jim, read it yourself." No, but really, the words in that was so powerful, Donna. Thank you for reading that again or sharing it with us again, please. Thank you.
Well, it's Bill's words. I'm just the messenger.
Yeah, right.
Right. I'm just the messenger, but it is extremely powerful. And it's what I just talked about. When I was told I had MS, I was like, oh, okay, that's a game changer, right? So I went through the normal emotions. I was sad, I was tears, and then I was mad. And then, but it didn't last that long. See, and I'll tell you why. I already had a life lesson with arthritis. I've already had three hand surgeries. Okay. My last one, I had a thumb replacement on my right hand, and I couldn't work for a year because it took me that long to get through rehab and everything with my thumb replacement. I'd already had that life lesson. And I already knew how I felt about having arthritis. So I said to myself, okay, time to let it go and to embrace it the same way. So literally, I embraced my MS and then subsequently my aneurysm probably within 2 weeks.
I got to give this lady a hand, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, her strength. If someone would ask me to describe Donna, I said, well, she's a very wonderful person, very lovely lady, and she's tough as nails. I mean, because she's got that inner strength, and that's what you need in your hour of need. You don't need to fall apart. You don't have to. And you can just be, you can accept it, embrace it, love it, and that just makes you that much more stronger.
Right.
And, Donna, I just can't imagine, going through what you did, especially when you could not complete a complete sentence for how long?
Almost 2 years. That was tough. That was tough. That was harder to live with than the brain surgeries, to be honest with you. And I'm laughing about it because, I'd be talking to my kids and I'd be like, and what's this called? A phone. I know what a phone is, but I couldn't get it from my brain to my tongue. I couldn't get the words there. And it wasn't like this was once or twice a day, folks. This was all day long. All day long. I couldn't get the words to come together. It was so frustrating. And, I gave myself the grace because my body and my brain were tired. They were tired. I had the 3 surgeries in a 14-month time period. So when you look at that, even without a medical degree, you don't have to have one to understand, damn, my brain is tired. My body is tired. So I had to give myself, even through the frustration, I had to give myself the grace to know I had to ask people what that word was that I couldn't get from my brain to my mouth, and that I had to give my body time to heal.
Especially when, as a single mom, you were wanting to share some things or say some things to your teenage children.
Absolutely.
Oh, that had to be a nightmare for you. I can't imagine going what you went through there, but I got to salute you on that one, Donna. I got to salute you, girl. I mean, you got a heart of gold, and I mean, I'm just so glad that you came into my life as my sister by a different mother.
My brother
And
by a different mother.
yeah, because that's exactly
Absolutely.
what we are. We're all family, ladies and gentlemen. You folks out there in TV land, we're all brothers and sisters by different mothers, and that's the way we should look at one another. We really should.
Mhm.
And our time is gone. I got more to say. I want to talk more.
Well, you know what? It's kind of odd because this particular show, I think I did most of the talking.
That's okay. I'm not complaining.
So obviously, the issue with words getting to from my brain to my mouth have healed
Mhm.
and healed well. But you know, my point is, give yourself time
Yes.
and give yourself grace, and look at the lesson behind it, and don't
Mm.
look at it as something that will chain you to, you know, an iron pole for the rest of your life.
When Donna explains things, you can easily visualize what she's talking about. And that's good because people need to understand the basics. That's why, like in Bill's verbiage here written in the book, we want to share that with you in case if you decide to go on Amazon and buy the book. We don't get a penny for this,
No.
but at least you know what you're getting. You're getting, and like I say, be sure and get in touch with Bill at truelifepurposenow.com for a complimentary 30-minute consultation. Be sure and get in touch with Donna here at highenergyrightnow@gmail.com. There's her email address. And take advantage of those, each one offering you 30 minutes of complimentary consultation to help you unblock what's blocking your energy and help you to be the person you were created and designed to be. And Donna, we always like to close a show with saying, we hope and pray that you and your loved ones are healthy, happy, and blessed. And we pray that you find the inner peace that you so rightly are entitled to. And we hope that you find the real you. Give thanks for all the things in your life that, maybe not be nice or pleasant, but take it as a life lesson to learn from, to make yourself a better person.
To learn and grow.
Yes, ma'am. Donna, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Bye-bye.